Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over my review of the Oura Ring. So this video is going to be useful for individuals who are deciding whether or not to get an Oura Ring for health and sleep tracking. And so I've been using mine for about 2 years now, and I must say that it's definitely useful if you want to track your sleep. But here are some things that you have to be aware about. And if you're interested in getting an Oura Ring, you can check out my link in the description down below and get 15% off. Now let's start off with the pros. With Oura Ring, you do get incredibly detailed sleep and recovery data that's way more comprehensive than most fitness trackers. Plus, it's comfortable to wear and the battery life is really good, lasting several days. But one of the downsides is that it gives you a lot of data, and if your sleep score is bad, it really presets your mind to having a bad day. And based on my lifestyle where I lift and rock climb a lot, I felt like I had to remove the Oura Ring a lot as well. Now, one of the biggest cons of the Oura Ring though is that although the data is detailed, you do have to deal with some psychological impact of constantly being scored. And what I mean by that is when you wake up and see a low sleep score or poor recovery rating, it can actually make you feel worse than you did. So some mornings I wake up feeling great, but then see a bad score and suddenly feel tired. Other mornings, the ring tells me I'm recovered when I feel exhausted. With Oura Ring, I think the most accurate reading I got was after a perfect night's sleep with like a score of like 95. But I've also had nights where I felt amazing but got terrible scores, okay? So other things with the Oura Ring that I don't like currently is that I constantly had to take it off for activities like lifting weights, rock climbing, or any kind of grip intensive work. And sometimes the ring would get damaged or scratched during workouts, and unlike other fitness trackers that you can wear during any activity, the Oura Ring feels fragile and gets in the way during certain exercises. Now, with Oura Ring though, one thing to keep in mind is that you do have to take into account their monthly subscription costs on top of the initial ring purchase. So while the hardware is expensive, you're also paying ongoing fees to access all the detailed analytics and insights. Now with Oura Ring, there can be some obsessive behavior around checking your scores. So my recommendation is that you use the data as general guidance rather than letting it dictate how you feel each day. For me, for example, I learned to check my scores less frequently and focus more on how I actually feel than what the ring tells me. Now, here are my 3 tips for people who want to try it out. First tip is to get the sizing kit and really make sure you get the right fit, because if it's too loose or too tight, it won't track accurately, and it'll also be uncomfortable. I had to exchange my first ring because the sizing was off. Second tip is to consider your lifestyle and activities before buying, because if you do a lot of grip intensive sports or manual work, you'll be taking it off constantly. I wish I had thought more about this before purchasing it, because rock climbing and weightlifting are huge parts of my routine. Third tip is don't let the scores control your mood or energy levels, because the psychological impact can be more negative than the data is helpful. I learned to use it as one data point among many rather than the definitive measure of how I should feel. My rule is if you're not genuinely interested in detailed sleep analytics, the ring is probably overkill. But with the Oura Ring though, I'd say it's been useful overall, especially for understanding my sleep patterns and recovery trends, even though I have to remove it frequently for activities. Oura Ring customer support is pretty decent when you have any issues with the hardware app as well. So with that being said, if you're considering the Oura Ring, I'd say just try it out. You won't know until you try it out. You can check out the link in the description and get 15% off when you try it. But really think about whether you want that much data influencing your daily mindset. But I hope you found this video helpful, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below.